Okay, hi there, it's Kim Willis again, and I have another video review for you. This one is about a famous blogger called Yaro Starak. Now, I've actually met Yaro many years ago, probably 8, 9 years ago, something like that, in Brisbane, in Australia. Brisbane's my hometown. Um, and Yaro happened to be living there at the time. I got an invitation. I think I was a member of like an internet marketing meetup, and I got an invitation to attend a meetup because this guy was one of the speakers. When I first saw the name, I thought, what on earth is a Yaro Starak? That's an interesting name. It's kind of a crazy name for a little old Aussie like me. And then in the invitation, I read the name of the other speaker, who happened to be his friend, and his name was also interesting. And his name is, or was, still is, Gideon Shalwick. So we had Yaro Starak and Gideon Shalwick as the hosts or the speakers for that meetup. Just their names piqued my curiosity no end, so I felt compelled to attend. But the other reason why I wanted to attend was because the subject matter was interesting. These guys were getting some pretty good results with their online marketing activities. So maybe I'll do a review on Gideon Shalwick at another time. But for this one, Yaro Starak, he kind of took a sabbatical from the blogging thing. A few years ago, and maybe he was burnt out. I think he had some personal issues, and the good news is that he's come back into it in a fulsome way in the last couple of years. So he's bigger and brighter than he ever was. So he's an Australian blogging guru. Well, actually, that probably needs to change because he's really a global kind of a guy. And he's really embraced the digital nomad concept. And he left Australia. He left Brisbane initially, and I think he lived in Melbourne for a time, perhaps Sydney as well. And now, in the last couple of years, he's left Australia, well, probably for good. And he spent some time in various parts of the world, including Japan, Tokyo. And so I think he's in the US now. I could be wrong, but I don't really follow his personal exploits. But I do follow him as a blogger. Now, one of the things that I learned when I met Yaro is that he's actually he's an introvert, okay, and he was not comfortable even just shaking my hand. He was not comfortable with it, and that left an indelible impression. Nevertheless, he is a very smart guy. He's a thinking man or woman's marketer. He really is. And so, I mean, if you're looking for get rich quick kind of stuff, you won't get it with Yaro Starak. You're going to get an honest evaluation of the strategies required to help you become successful. You're going to get honest information, step by step, laid out in a coherent way. So you could say I'm a bit of a fan of Yaro Starak. Now, his income sources, he's an Australian blogging guru. Now, let's look at his income sources. I've only got one down here. There are probably others, but this is his main claim to fame. He sells courses, training courses, on how to kind of do what he does. Okay. Now, he's been making money online since 2005. He's certainly made well over $1 million. In that sense, he's kind of similar to me. I started in 2006, and I've made more than seven figure. I've made more than $1 million. So, but I learned from this guy because he has some skills that I don't have, or at least I didn't have, and he's still better in some areas than me anyway. Certainly got a higher profile than me. Now let's look at Brickbats. He has a serious kind of delivery style. He's not naturally a funny guy. He's not naturally a humorous guy. So his style is non-hypey. So that may be off-putting to some. For somebody like me, I love it because with him you get authenticity. You get the real deal. You get great information packaged well. He's a good teacher. Bouquets. Good information delivered in a no-hype manner, as I said, attracts good guest speakers and interviewees, and he is a good interviewer. Introverts often are a good interviewer. They'd rather put the spotlight onto the other person. He conveys information in an easy-to-understand way. So there you have it. Now let's have a look at a couple of the links that I've got here. The first one is his link. It's his website. The second one is basically it's an interview where he was interviewed by Jamie Tardy. She's really good. She runs this interview program. She interviews all sorts of interesting people, entrepreneurs, particularly online entrepreneurs. So that's Eventual Millionaire. So you might want to pick up that interview from her site, eventualmillionaire.com. Plenty of other good interviews there with other people as well. But let's have a look at these sites. Now, this is the Jamie Tardy platform, Eventual Millionaire, and you'll see there are lots of case studies, etc. And I should do a profile of her sometime, or a review of her sometimes, because she has an interesting story to tell. But one of her claims to fame is that she does these interviews, and they're long interviews, so usually at least an hour. So if you want to pick that one up from where she interviewed Yaro, well, go to it, Eventual Millionaire, and have a look at and watch that interview. The other good thing about her is that she does a transcript of the interview for people that prefer to read, or they just want to skip to a relevant part. It's a bit more difficult to do that with a video. So you've got all the text there, and it's completely free. So there you go. And she usually gets a fair amount of engagement, 13 responses for that interview. So that's that one. And then over here we have Yaro's site. And you only have to look at the headlines to know that this is a guy who, number one, knows what he's talking about. He really gets to the nub of the matter. He really gets to the pressing issue that concerns people. So this particular blog post, this is his latest blog post. The answer to your problem is not a single solution. It's a process you must experience. And this is a really good heading. It's a really good topic, actually, because the answer to our problems is usually complex. There's usually a degree of complexity to it, and there will be different answers for different people. There's no one solution, there's no one size fits all kind of a solution. So, and as he says, it's a process that you must experience. You must go through that process to discover the answers. Okay, so that would be a good blog post to review. Now, another thing that he does, as I mentioned earlier, is that he does interviews as well. So he's not just somebody who creates blog content. He does produce interviews. So there's one here, Corey Huff. He's a Shakespearean actor who starts a blog to teach creative people how to sell their art online, and today he makes $180,000 plus a year online. Now that's a pretty good story. It's a pretty good story. A Shakespearean actor starting a blog to teach creative people how to sell their art online. Now, there are many stories like this one from Corey Huff. I know of another story of a guy who's a struggling rock musician, and he tried for years and years to win himself a contract from a major recording studio without any luck. So he studied online methods, hoping that he could sell his music direct to the public online. And that's exactly what he did. And finally, people started buying his music online, dealing direct with the user, with the consumer. Cut out the middleman. So successful was this venture that he decided to leverage that newfound knowledge and expertise into another business, another income source, and today he teaches other struggling musicians how to do the same thing. So the Corey Huff story is a little bit similar to that one. Perry Romanowski, how a cosmetic chemist turned blogger, made $500,000 teaching the chemistry behind products like shampoo and makeup. You see, what Yaro is doing is demonstrating that there are all sorts of people with all sorts of skills who can leverage those skills into online income streams and do it by teaching other people how to solve a problem. Harry Campbell blogging about the rise of ride sharing to make 80,000 plus a year from 10 different income streams. Fabulous stuff. Pat Flynn, I will be doing a video review of Pat Flynn. He's become a very well-known blogger, and he's got a very big following. So we'll be doing that, but Yaro has beaten me to it. But my reviews are video reviews, a little bit different. This guy, JJ, okay, this is a good one. I met JJ, and he's a great personality, terrific guy, professional magician. He takes his skill online, attracts 40 million views on YouTube, and makes $100,000 plus selling magic courses. He's a really nice guy, a very interesting guy. There's another one, Alexa Fisher, TV star from JAG NCIS, switches to online coach, blogging, podcasting, and teaching her way to a $250,000 business. Jordan Gray, how this right. I love some of these stories that he's put together here. See if there's anybody else there that I know personally. Nope. So, if you are attracted to the idea of blogging, and I encourage people to embrace it, I reckon you should get onto his list, onto his email list, and follow it through. You may even decide to become a client of his, buy one of his courses, and participate maybe in his coaching program. So he's got different programs, but one of the things that he includes with his paid programs is community. So you get access to community because this is so much a belief game. People who are starting out, and even more experienced marketers, they do experience self-doubt. And particularly if they've never done anything like this before, like blogging, there is lots of self-doubt because they don't have those successful kind of blogging experiences in the past to draw on. Everybody starts out from scratch in the blogging arena at some point. I wasn't a blogger. I wasn't born a blogger. I had to get excited about it, make a decision, and then learn how to do it. So we all started at ground zero at some point. So if you're at that point where you want to learn more about blogging, yeah, I think this would be a good, maybe a good first step for anybody that has some kind of an interest in generating an income using a blog as the primary platform. Okay. So that's it. There's the story there about Yaro Starak. You can actually read more about him here. All right, this is Kim Willis. Bye for now.